from the CSI Soccer Complex on the campus of the College of Staten Island. CSI Sportsnet is proud to welcome you into coverage of College of Staten Island women's soccer and part of the CUNY Game of the Week here at CSI. Today, it's the CSI Dolphins and the CCNY Beavers in a battle for first place in the CUNYAC standings. Two undefeated teams coming in at 3-0. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm David Pizzuto alongside Mike Baybuski. We are about 8.5 minutes away from opening kickoff here, so we welcome you in to the CSI Sportsnet pregame show. And Mike, the CSI Dolphins have been a bit up and down. They started 0-2. They reeled off 5 straight wins. They've lost 3 out of their last 4. They've been banged up, but they're a lot happier today because they get their leading scorer back.
Yeah, you know, it's such a big difference for the CSI Dolphins when Samantha Laval is in the starting lineup. And to get her back is really key, Dave. The Dolphins lost their last 2 non-conference games, both by final scores of 2-1, and you know that Laval could have been a big difference maker in either of those games. The Dolphins in the FDU Flom game were able to get themselves several opportunities, especially in the first half, but weren't able to really find that finishing touch and didn't get that goal till toward the end of the game on that late header to make it a 2-1 game. And, you know, the same thing in the Newman game. So it'll be nice to have Laval back in the starting lineup. And, you know, the Dolphins have played very well in the conference so far here in 2018, Dave, and no reason to expect that it won't continue here this afternoon.
Right, both teams 3-0 as they enter the midway point of the season, or a little bit past the midway point of the season. And we mentioned Samantha Laval back in the lineup. The Dolphins have had Samantha Lepardo come back into the lineup. They'll be without Natalia Sandor, who continues to be sidelined. But otherwise, the Dolphins are a team that's getting healthier as opposed to getting more and more nicked up. So that's a blessing for first-year coach Brittany Caceres. In Samantha Laval's absence, Mike, several Dolphins have had to step up their game. One obviously has been Lauren Smith. She's taken more of ownership into the offensive half of the field. And then the emergence of freshman Mirsada Palinkovic. She has been terrific. She's matured over the last couple of weeks, and she's been more of a focal point on the wing.
Yeah, no doubt, Dave. You know, Lauren Smith, as you mentioned, had that big opportunity in the game against FDU Flom, made a beautiful shot, struck a beautiful shot, but unfortunately went off of the post, and then Palinkovic has been playing really good soccer, Dave, since she stepped on the field against Kane University as a CSI Dolphin to open the regular season. And you add Laval back into that mix, and, you know, it really puts a lot of pressure on the other team's defense.
When you and Joe covered the men's game, you talked about how stingy the CSI men's defense has been this season. The women equally so. They have yet to give up a goal in conference play. Granted, they've played the bottom half of the CUNY Conference so far, but still they have been very stout in the back notoriously. And, of course, it begins with their center back in CC Mulligan. Of course, Brianna DiStefano has played well, and then it's tough to get some balls past Kayla DiBenedetto.
Yeah, you know, DiBenedetto has played very well in goal for the Dolphins, and, you know, they've been playing well. Mulligan has really had a very solid bounce-back senior season for the Dolphins, really elevating her game to where it was a couple of years ago, Dave, when she was one of the best defensive players in the conference. And, you know, she's really played well, and, you know, a couple of players who typically get overlooked but are such an important part of everything the Dolphins do, Rebecca DeLoya and Lisbeth Aparicio. And, you know, both of those players really starting to play well, and you know, the Dolphins coming in with a lot of optimism into this game this afternoon. And, you know, they're going to be really tested here this afternoon, Dave, against a CCNY Beavers team that's coming in 7-3, undefeated in conference play, and, you know, presents a lot of different weapons at you, including the very familiar name in Susan Arcina.
Yeah, Susan Arcina, of course, transferred to CCNY during the offseason. She scored 10 goals. She's part of 3 players on this CCNY team as we turn the page and look at our CUNY standings of how CCNY has really been able to really get themselves in that top half of the picture. They did last year, but you could see how big this game is in particular, Mike. The Dolphins and CCNY will try and have lone possession of first place, obviously barring a tie. Lehman closing in on both of them, obviously CSI and CCNY yet to play Lehman. And then, of course, you have the bottom half of the standings in Brooklyn, John Jay York and Medgar. Both of these teams share huge victories over York and Medgar Evers. CSI getting a win over John Jay as well. So from here on in for CSI, they play the top half of the standings.
Yeah, and you know, Dave, for one of the first times this year in conference play, they're going to be faced with a team that really has the ability to score. You mentioned the Beavers with 3 players with over 10 goals. Daniela Grisales-Aguelo leading or 10 goals, 9 assists, leading the team in points with 29. Gabrielle DeChesi, a player that people familiar with CUNYAC women's soccer will be familiar with, leading the team with 11 goals with 4 assists, and Susan Aracena, who you mentioned before, with 10 goals as well. So, you know, this is a Beaver team that's really going to present some challenges to the Dolphins defensively, and it'll be interesting to see how the Dolphins react to that here this afternoon.
Yeah, those CCNY numbers, you know, inflated because of those huge wins, a 12-0 win over York, a 17-0 win over Medgar Evers. But, Mike, we say it all the time, you have to dispose of the teams that you're supposed to beat. You're supposed to do it convincingly. That's what both of these teams have done. And, of course, it leads us to this one. So we'll see how it goes here. We are about 2.5 minutes away from opening kickoff. Mike, why don't we take a break? When we come back, we'll try to sneak in our starting lineups, and we'll get you ready for kickoff right here in a game to break the tie, affix the first place standings. It's the CSI Dolphins against the CCNY Beavers. Coming up next here at the CSI Soccer Complex. Stay with us.
Do you want to retire like a champ? Just like legendary basketball star Uncle Drew?
Don't do him like that, Uncle Drew!
You're already acing the game. You've got your dream ride.
Don't be slamming my door.
Sorry about that.
You just did the same.
Gotta get the boys.
Your dream vacation and your dream team. And now you can make your retirement just as legendary.
I get buckets.
Get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
First time I tried Vicodin, it was laying around my mom's house. And then I kept taking them whenever I could get them. I didn't know they'd be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
No doubt you're going places, young lady.
Thank you. And thank you for the interview as well. I can imagine it was the last thing that you wanted to do after such a long campaign meeting.
You really are a very intelligent young woman. You're very smooth.
You're very smooth yourself.
You have no idea.
Awkward. I'm the awkward silence. You try to avoid me, then there I am again.
But an awkward silence can be a great thing.
Like Kelly here is about to demonstrate.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
Listen now, can you hear the bluebirds? Oh, look up now, can you feel the sun?
You make me wear my bike helmet. You taught me never to run with scissors.
You tell me to stay away from drugs.
to always buckle my seatbelt. And to follow the swimming rules. You're always looking out for me and trying to keep me safe.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer? Here in the garage.
Closet. Shuttle box under the bed. Where anyone can get to it. How safe is that?
How safe is that?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. If you own a firearm and are not using it, please be responsible and be sure that it's stored in a safe place. Remember, always, lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Welcome back to the CSI Soccer Complex here on the campus of the College of Staten Island. We are moments away from opening kickoff between the CCNY Beavers, 7-3, 3-0 in the conference, taking on the CSI Dolphins at 6-5 and an equal 3-0 in conference play, Mike. And our lineups are being introduced to the field. We may as well look at the starting lineups. Let's take a look first at our familiar side, the CSI Dolphins.
Thanks a lot, Dave. In goal, it'll be Kayla DiBenedetto, the remainder of the Dolphins starting lineup here today in numerical order. Number 2, Lauren Smith. Number 5, Rebecca DeLoya. Number 8, Namina Bracic. Number 11, Nicole Mignon. Number 13, Lisbeth Aparicio. Number 16, Catherine Mulligan. Number 21, Samantha Laval, who makes her return to the starting lineup for the Dolphins here this afternoon. Number 22, Brianna DiStefano. Number 24, Masadi Palinkovic. And number 28, Adriana Perello.
And before, Mike, we get to our CCNY starters, we'll tell you first about Samantha Laval. She missed 3 games, but at the time that she got hurt, she was second in the nation in scoring with 13 goals in 8 games. So having missed the last 3, she is back in the lineup. Adriana Perello is the lone senior along with Lauren Smith in the lineup as well. Perello back to wearing her familiar number 28. And a couple of other, of course, big names that we mentioned was Mercedes Palinkovic, number 24, who's really come on strong offensively for the Dolphins. And, of course, we've seen a lot from Samantha Lapardo, who is not in the starting lineup. She might be one of the first players coming off of the bench. And, of course, we'll take a look at them. You notice some of the crystallization going on your screen. That's because it is misting. It is rainy here, so your vantage point won't be very smooth. And, so we'll hope to, sort that out. Hopefully we'll get some more wind than rain, Mike. Mike, let's take a look at the starters for CCNY as well.
And looking for the Beavers starting lineup, it'll be number 18, Catherine Langkamp in goal for the Beavers. The remainder of the Beavers starting lineup, number 2, Laura Hernandez. Number 4, Ingrid Rosario. Number 5, Amy Gomez. Number 6, Tatiana Zulaga. Number 7, Gabrielle Duchesi. Number 9, Gonzalez Arduello. Number 10, Susan Aracena. Number 16, Jacqueline Gillian. Number 17, Diana Syed. And number 23, Alexander Barrero. Both teams coming in undefeated this afternoon. CCNY with a 7-3 record. The Dolphins 6-5. Both teams 3-0 in the conference, and should be a good one, Dave, here this afternoon.
Yeah, and of course the players to keep your eyes on, obviously Gabrielle Deschossi, 10 games. She's got 11 goals. Daniela Grisales Agudelo, she's got 10 goals in 10 games. And Susan Aracena, wearing number 10, she wore that number for the Dolphins last year, had a good season for the Dolphins, switched over to the purple and white. She's got 10 goals in 10 games as well. Both teams taking the field. CCNY is still in their huddle. They will wear the dark purple uniforms with the white trim. They will go from left to right on your screen. CSI in their familiar blue jerseys, Columbia blue jerseys with black and white trim. They will go from right to left. Mike, whatever wind there is blowing pretty much in our faces here from the far sideline over to the near sideline where we're stationed. And if anybody's going to have the wind at their backs, it'll be CSI in half number one.
Yeah, and it was a little bit of an advantage in game number one as both teams were able to play into the wind a little bit in this game. And, you know, Dave, it's interesting because the forecast really didn't call for this kind of rain here this afternoon. So, you know, the players are going to have to come out and play the game in a little bit of a chillier condition. It actually feels cooler, Dave, since the men's game started at 12 o'clock. And you know how it could turn here at the Staten Island Soccer Complex. It could be pretty chilly here by the time we get to the second half.
So CCNY will control the ball first, like we said, moving from left to right. So down the sideline, CCNY looking to control. It's Grisales Agudelo looking for position. She's able to find her teammate. Now Agudelo inside the box. One quick touch that time by DeChaussee, but Kayla DiBenedetto is there to interrupt play. We'll see if they register that a shot, but that was more like a toe tap into goal.
It was, Dave, but a nice little offensive play there by the Beavers to start out the game here in the first 30 seconds where they were able to get the ball right to the doorstep of the CSI goal.
CSI working on the far sideline now. They will get the benefits here of a throw-in. Try to get it into the corner of the box. Laval with her first touch pops it over the defense, but CCNY able to scamper out of there. Aparicio was giving chase. CSI will still maintain possession. CSI at first looking for that corner flag. It gets spilled out towards midfield, and here comes CCNY looking to run up the field. They were looking for the captain, Agudelo. Instead, CSI turns the other way. Pelinkovic dribbles one inside, and that one's broken up. Lauren Smith in the neighborhood. She might have a chance here, and spilling right out is Ingrid Rosario as she got to that loose ball in the box. Dangerous play here to start the game as CSI starts to put pressure on. DeLoya with the throw-in. Skips it into Mignon. Mignon working against two CCNY defenders, able to split both. Now looking to gain the box. She does temporarily, and Lauren Smith puts one weakly on goal. Landcamp is there to cover up, make the save.
Yeah, that time the Dolphins forcing the turnover and getting the shot towards goal, and Landcamp made the save on it. So the Dolphins, after allowing CCNY to get the ball on goal, putting a little bit of pressure on themselves.
Yeah, we haven't talked a lot about number 18, Catherine Landcamp, the goalkeeper for CCNY, but we will in just a moment once this play materializes. This is Laval on goal, and it skips in on Landcamp. She makes the save, covers up. You know, Mike, Landcamp has started 6 games. She's made 14 saves this season. Mike, she made 20 alone in the regular season game against CSI last year. What was a 2-2 tie? She was the MVP of that game by far.
Yeah, she had a great game for those of you that might have had a chance to see it last year. And, you know, she's a very good goalkeeper, and she gave the Dolphins fits in that 2-2 game. And, you know, the Dolphins are looking to put a little bit of pressure on her and hopefully break through a little bit earlier here this afternoon.
So we mentioned how CCNY has had a lighter schedule. They also had a huge win over Yeshiva this year, and she hasn't really been tested all that much. Just 6 games, only 14 saves. She'll have to see more, and she's already faced 2 and made 2 stops here in the first 4 minutes.
And it didn't take Samantha more than 2.5 minutes to get her first opportunity at net for the Dolphins. So, you know, if you're a CSI Dolphin fan, you're hoping she's going to come back strong because she's been just about impossible to defend, especially in conference games.
And here's an area in the game where the Dolphins have really excelled as of late on the corner kick, as Nermina Bracic was able to win a corner out of that last run, and it'll be Adriana Perello. Perello, a 5th-year senior. She missed a year due to injury. Back as a graduate student, taking a full-time course load there. Plenty of blue inside the box. This is a low-line driver. Lauren Smith was able to get a heel on it, but spills it out of bounds. This will be a goal kick for Landcamp.
Yeah, so the Dolphins get their first corner kick of the afternoon, able to put the ball inside the box, but not really able to get much of a threat out of it. So it'll be a free kick coming up here for the Beavers.
Only other CUNY team in action is John Jay. They host Medgar Evers today, a game that they'll be very heavily favored to win. But the team in third place in the standings, Lehman College, is idle in conference play. This is Mignon looking for a long lead pass, too strong in the direction of Laval. Landcamp is there.
Yeah, and you know, Dave, we haven't had a chance to see Lehman College yet, but we do know that Lehman was able to beat FDU Florham by a final score of 1-0, and we saw FDU Florham beat the Dolphins 2-1, so I think Lehman's going to come out with a pretty good team.
DeChaussee working the sideline, and she was interfered with by Di Benedetto, who broke up that run. Di Benedetto, underhands one, far sideline of Aparicio, working up the field in the direction of Bracic. She loses it in still CSI's ball. They work it very quickly up the pitch. Bracic with a long run. Laval is there to interrupt things. Now Bracic with a wide open Lauren Smith. Smith with a wide open Pelinkovic to her left. Pelinkovic one-on-one against Landcamp, and it's in! Mersada Pelinkovic from Nermina Bracic, all sprung off the little tap in the back heel by Laval. A great 1-2-3 punch for the Dolphins, and they're up 1-0.
Yeah, and you know, Dave, on that play, the Beavers' defense really fell apart as once Bracic got the ball, Pelinkovic was wide open, no one even near her. And you mentioned how well Landcamp played, but I don't care what goalie you are, you're not going to be able to stop a goal scorer in that kind of situation. And the Dolphins take a big 1-0 lead here early in this big conference matchup.
Essentially just a one-on-one, player versus goalkeeper, and Pelinkovic wins the battle.
You know, when we mentioned Pelinkovic coming into the game and how well she's played as a Dolphin, and she gets on the board here early, picking up her 5th goal of the year, as Bracic will pick up the assist. That will be assist number 2 for Nermina, and the Dolphins lead 1-0 and put immediate pressure on this CCNY team by picking up that early first goal.
Gorgeous replay by engineer Joe Foreman, and Dolphins open up a 1-0 lead. And here's another one, sprung open, Laval. Landcamp is there, right at the top of the box to spill it out. And CCNY avoids disaster there on that play, as once again, inexplicably, Mersada Pelinkovic able to just access the top of the field alone.
As that ball's going to be played over towards the near sideline by Mignon and out of bounds. And the throw-in upcoming.
Yeah, you know what, Mike? Samantha Laval will not get credit as a second assist, but really it was that little drop pass to Bracic that really sprung the play. That was a great job all around by the Dolphins on that goal. So less than 8 minutes gone by. Dolphins got themselves the early goal, and that is critical as the Dolphins continue to put on pressure. Now spilling it out is Susan Aracino, who gets one of her first touches on the ball. Coming in to retrieve is Barrera. She works sideline over to Rosario, but it's intercepted by Mignon. Here comes Mignon the other way, was looking in the direction of Pelinkovic, but she wasn't home.
Dolphins really doing a good job here, Dave, really closing off the field here on these deep defensive throw-ins by the Beavers.
So Lauren Smith now gives over to Perello. Dolphins playing a short field here. 5- and 10-yard passes. This is Smith. She's been given some real estate. Drops it off on the right to Mignon. Mignon accessing, and she puts one on goal in direction of Landcamp. Landcamp had perfect position and makes her 3rd save of the game.
And Dave, the Dolphins already credited with 4 shots on goal. They've just played a little over 8 minutes of play, so Dolphins putting immediate pressure on this Beaver defense. And Beavers really not doing a good job yet, Dave, of coming back and identifying the Dolphins offensively, and it's really creating some problems for them.
Dolphins dominating in the early stages. This is Lauren Smith, a wide open Samantha Laval. That pass was behind her, otherwise she was free. This is Laval getting through one defender, and we have an offsides call on the play against CSI. Mike, while we have a moment, want to say hello to my wife Jennifer, who's asked for a shout out. She will get it, just like she gets most things she's asked for, but just kidding. She enjoys listening to CSI Sportsnet, and we have some devoted fans out there, and obviously some great fans of CSI Dolphins as well. And why not? These soccer teams, Mike, are on such a tear here, both the CSI men's and women's teams.
Yeah, you know, neither team has suffered a loss yet, and the women's team hasn't even allowed a goal, and the men's team just allowed one goal on a very late penalty kick in a game they were already up by double digits on the scoreboard. So both teams really excelling in conference play here in 2018.
And as stingy as the Dolphins are, that 1-0 lead is just tremendous here for the Dolphins to be able to put that pressure on early. And if you remember, Mike, when the Dolphins beat CCNY in the CUNY playoffs last year, they also scored a very early goal. They ended up scoring another one right before the first half was over. As you could see, the early lead in shots here overall. And it's the same for shots on goal as well, because all 4 of those shots have been on frame. Dolphins were able to take a 2-0 lead at halftime during that semifinal game. CCNY ended up scoring a goal late. Dolphins win 2-1 in the playoffs last year. But Mike, for the most part, this rivalry, this CSI-CCNY rivalry has been a good one in recent years. And last year, anyway, it was the closest CSI has played to any of the other CUNY schools.
Yeah, you know, CCNY has really done a good job throughout the years, Dave, of giving the Dolphins trouble. They were a team that always thought defense first and really didn't hesitate to push the ball out to the sides. And, you know, in a lot of those games, the Dolphins really had a hard time figuring out a way to solve it. They usually successfully did, especially in the last 3 years or so, but Beavers did give them a lot of trouble.
So CSI, once again, gaining the far side of the field, and CCNY, just in an effort to get back, has to spill the ball right out. Dolphins want to reset quickly. It's Bracic. Bracic still working, gets past one defender, looking in front in the direction of Laval. It was spilled out. Beavers doing whatever it takes to get out of there. This is Laval looking to play it down. The defense is there. Dolphins will be resetting here with Mulligan near midfield. CCNY looking to put on pressure, and DeLoya just pops it right back into the final third of the field. The offsides flag is up, and we'll have another offside call against the Dolphins.
Yeah, and I think that time Bracic called for the offsides. And, you know, Dave, she already picked up an assist and just made another nice offensive play a little bit earlier. And she's one of the players that have really improved this year, Dave. Really so much more effective and, you know, so much more part of the action this year has Namita been.
Yeah, absolutely. She's accepted a much bigger role. Of course, the Dolphins losing 17 letter winners from a year ago. Doesn't seem that many, but Dolphins really lost a lot of firepower from last season, and you expect those things with a first-year coach. Changing the culture here of the team a little bit, but the Dolphins still intend to be very competitive come tournament time. And there's Nicole Mignon getting spilled down by Susan Aracena, and she's going to get called for a yellow card against her former teammate Nicole Mignon, and clock was stopped on that last foul.
Well, we got to watch those two play together for a while, Dave, as Aracena picks up the yellow on the play, and, you know, an opportunity here for the Dolphins or for the free kick to put that ball inside the penalty area.
So Perello, from about 30 yards out, will put one on frame and almost trickles in as that one got off the fingertips of Landkamp and out. It was last touched by the Dolphins on the redirection.
Yeah, that time Dolphins were able to get the ball up as Perello with a beautiful free kick opportunity, and presenting another challenge to the Beavers, who were able to escape, but Dolphins continue to put the pressure on.
Yeah, Perello's been doing that for a long time. Those free kicks are very dangerous every time she's able to get a touch. This is now Bracic turning around and putting one inside the box. No one home for the Dolphins, though, immediately as Syed is able to draw it out of bounds.
Dolphins continue to put good pressure on. Bracic once again forcing the issue.
Got to see that replay of the free kick of Perello, very nearly in the back of the net. That would have doubled the Dolphins' lead at 2-0, but instead we stay at 1-0 here. It's been all CSI these first 14.5 minutes. As we have a quick whistle here, CSI guilty of a foul. So after a long pause here, it'll be Aracena who will look to get the Beavers started here deep in her own territory. Will look to gain midfield and then some.
No, Dave, the Beavers were able to get the ball right inside the penalty area on their first possession of the game, but I don't think they've been back since.
That's right, and the Dolphins are once again continuing to put on heavy pressure. It will be CCNY with another throw-in. Gomez restarts play, trying to get it off to Duchaussy, who's the leading scorer on the CCNY team. So once again, another quick restart. Nicole Mignon is able to turn with the ball on her foot. Zuluaga was able to get it back for CCNY, but spilled right out of play again for the Dolphins.
Beavers starting to do a little bit better job clogging up the midfield. Dave keeping the pressure on the CSI side of the field, but still not really able to get the ball anywhere near the Dolphins' goal.
So they battle in the midfield, and after a restart, here comes CCNY. Being sprung free was Agudelo. Getting back nicely was Deloya, and works it over to Pelinkovic. Crisis averted there for the Dolphins as that one goes out of play as Pelinkovic was shoulder to shoulder with Barrera. Nice job by the Beavers to get free of the defense, but a better job by Deloya to retrack back and make up for the blunder.
Yeah, Deloya can make up for a lot of mistakes, and she's a really solid defender, showing it on that last play.
Bracic able to win a 50-50, drops it over to Smith, who gives it right back. Bracic still looking to go one-on-one with the defense, looking to shed Rodriguez, and Dolphins able to win a throw-in because of it, as Aparicio will take it on the far side. That's where the Dolphins have really chosen to attack, on that right side, as Bracic puts one right at the top of the goal box. Pelinkovic with a quick touch, but it's plenty wide and out of play.
Yeah, the Dolphins able to get that ball inside, and Pelinkovic knocking it wide. I'm not sure she was trying to put that one on goal or just kind of pass it across, but either way, it'll end up with a free kick for the Beavers.
So CCNY once again looking for the attack. They work slowly, but Duchaussy comes with it. It's going to take a while for me to get that name down. Artificial horn coming from the far side of the field. Made me pause, thought there was a sub coming in. Looks like after all this, Mike, we're going to see a corner?
Yeah, you know, it looks like a corner kick, Dave, and that's not the kind of corner kick you really want to give away, and it's going to be Aracena coming all the way over to the far side of the field to take it for the Beavers.
So here's the first golden opportunity here for CCNY to put one right on frame. As Mike mentioned, it's Aracena doing the honors, right-footed kick. It's a low-line driver. Ends up towards the corner of the box again, but the Dolphins are there first, and this is Mignon. In a foot race now, the long threading pass to Bracic. Bracic tried to get one through the defense, couldn't get it by Dina Syed. And CSI will get it back, but not before play was interrupted on that last spring up the pitch.
big play that time by Syed. The Dolphins were coming through with numbers and a lot of space. Nice play to knock that play away.
And another 50-50 ball, that time won by CCNY, and they will work it down the sideline. Another loss there for the Dolphins in the back line, but they're able to get back into it there as Brianna DiStefano was aiding in on the defense. This is Perello dropping off near side to DeLoya. DeLoya looking middle of the field. Laval, once again, a quick little toe pass over to Lauren Smith. It was originally intercepted and spilled up the field. It will be CSI's throw-in.
Yeah, Laval just coming back and missing those 3 games, Dave. That pass a little bit behind Smith, but she had a lot of room as the Dolphins look to press forward once again.
You can see that every time Laval is close to the ball, there are 2 purple jerseys surrounding her. And she really hasn't been able to play the ball at her feet, Mike. It's been all just quick touches for her.
Yeah, but, you know, Dave, she draws so much attention to herself that creates a lot of openings for a lot of other players. And even when she is gathering all that attention, she's still very difficult to stop. So she presents a lot of challenges to the defense as DeLoya will throw in from the near side.
So it is DeLoya who will look towards the bottom corner of the box, and this will be a corner kick as the Beavers were able to get ahead on it, and this time Perello will take another from the near side of the field. We saw what Perello did with the free kick earlier, Mike. Here's a chance now to put it in the goal box.
Boy, that's a pretty easy corner kick there, Dave, for the Dolphins, and they'll take it as Perello will come over from the near side this time.
CSI with a small advantage on the corners so far, 2-1 in their favor. Perello, right-footed kick near post, but that was curving too much and straight out of play, so Dolphins give up that opportunity there.
Yeah, that one got caught up in the wind a little bit, and the Beavers will have the free kick once we get near the midway point here in the first half, and the Dolphins leading by a score of 1-0.
Dolphins continuing to put on the pressure here. Obviously up by a goal. If they could score a second, they would seriously put a stranglehold on this game. And once again, CCNY conceding field position here as Dolphins will just do it again about 30 yards up the pitch. Pelinkovic puts one right at the top of the box. Ball rolling around. The Beavers finally getting to it, but Perello able to knock it back over to Aparicio, but that pass was intercepted. Mulligan and DiStefano create the wall over at midfield. CCNY still with it. DeLoya with a quick touch. Zuluaga able to get it back here near midfield. CCNY looking to reverse field, and now springing away is Gomez. Gomez can't get it through the CSI defense again. DiStefano knocking one back. And CSI plays one up the pitch, but off of the shin of Bracic and out of play.
Yeah, the Beavers playing a little bit better in the midfield in the last couple of possessions, but here come the Dolphins off the turnover.
So Dolphins once again playing it up, and this is Laval. Laval looking to lead Pelinkovic. That pass was intercepted. CCNY looking to catch up to this one, cannot. And the Dolphins will get their first substitution into the game. It'll be Victoria Sanchez to replace Nermina Bracic.
Bracic active in the first half, Dave, picking up an assist on the goal. And she played very well for the CSI.
Yeah, so Bracic and Sanchez playing pretty much a half each. As we approach the midway mark of the first half, Rebecca DeLoya with a beautiful tackle to earn the ball. This is Smith. Smith giving a lot of real estate, putting one on net, but it was a little bit too high. And Landcamp is able to see it over the crossbar, but a nice attempt for Smith, who was given a nice window to shoot.
Yeah, you know, Lauren has shown that ability to put the ball on the net and score some big goals in some big games for the Dolphins. She's the only CSI Dolphins player in women's soccer history, Dave, to score a goal in the NCAA tournament for the Dolphins and just put that one over the top.
Yeah, Smith, a 4-year starter. She was a former CUNYAC Rookie of the Year. Has had a great career with the Dolphins. CCNY once again trying to get things out of their zone. They've been playing catch-up all afternoon here, looking to really interrupt the CSI attack. Done a decent job in front of Landcap and not allowing the Dolphins to get that heavy hit on goal, but Dolphins have been knocking on the door since the jump. Aracena controls, pops it straight up in the air. Palinkovic with one touch over to Laval. Once again has 2 purple jerseys draped on top of her. Landcap's able to clean it up.
Yeah, and Laval turned towards goal. Landcamp right there to make the play for the Beavers.
Yeah, Laval is still a little bit frustrated. She hasn't been able to play the ball at her feet, hasn't been able to move with the ball in her possession, and that's not by accident. As we have a war going on here near the sideline. Palinkovic was locked up with Agudelo. Dolphins end up springing out with it, but CCNY pops it back over the midfield line. Di Stefano, soft touch to Deloya. Tries to play it in the middle. That's a dangerous ball, but Mulligan is there to reverse field to Aparicio. Aparicio given a lot of room in front of her. She's got wheels as well. Threading it over to Smith. Smith was looking corner flag. In that direction with Sanchez looking to make a run, but the pass was too strong, and it'll be a goal kick here for the Beavers.
Yeah, that ball getting up onto the turf and zipping out of bounds, so another free kick opportunity here for the Beavers.
CSI able to interrupt the goal kick, and here is Sanchez now with a little room. Sanchez gaining the bottom of the box near the touchline, but that one's out of play, too strong. Sanchez to herself.
And another close play that time for the Dolphins. Sanchez with a lot of room, Dave, as she touched it just a little bit lighter. She really could have presented a challenge inside the Beaver penalty area.
Officially inside of 20 minutes to go here in the first half. The time on your screen unofficial. Official time being kept on the scoreboard here at CSI. Here's Agudelo now. Agudelo continuing shoulder to shoulder with Deloya. She's looking to get inside, can't do it. Deloya with her right foot interrupting another attempt, and now Deloya getting some help from Di Stefano. And that one's out of play. Dolphins are able to retreat back and set up their defense in the box.
Nice challenge that time by the Beavers, and they're going to get a throw-in out of it deep inside Dolphin territory as the rain and mist continues to fall here in Staten Island in this first half.
Yeah, definitely heavier, Mike, than when we started. Like a mist cloud over us. You could see it in the distance and in the horizon. CCNY taking their time, setting up what will be another opportunity here via the corner kick.
And these are big plays, Dave, because it's been hard for the Beavers to put sustained pressure on, but an opportunity off this kind of set piece, something they'll want to take advantage of.
Their first one was really short. This is a nice one right in the center of the box. It's on the ground. The Dolphins finally able to spring it out. That was Di Stefano with the nice clearance. Dolphins want to use it up the pitch. Kept near midfield by CCNY, and Palinkovic will have herself a throw in here near midfield, looking in open space for Laval. Laval lets it go over her shoulder, drops it off to Smith. Smith once again with room, puts one on frame, and that one's interrupted by Landcamp. A nice save by Catherine Landcamp, who was going to her left, had to spring back to her right to get that ball, Mike.
Nice pass that time to set up Smith. Smith with another opportunity. This one she puts on goal. But once again, Landcamp there to make the save.
And it was because of the heavy attention to Laval that gave Smith the open space. And it was another example, Mike, of the Dolphins being able to turn defense into offense. And they can do that with a lead. When you're up 1-0, you can allow CCNY to enter your zone and then double back and look to get a couple of opportunities with the counterattack.
Yeah, you know, the Dolphins getting that early goal, you play with so much more confidence, Dave, when you get that early 1-0 lead.
And so we'll have ourselves a replay here. There was the open space, and there's a nice save by Landcamp, who was able to knock it down and then make the cover. Landcamp already with 5 saves in this game. She made 14 in 6 games coming into this one. Shoulder to shoulder they go. That time down the field it was Keblish with Sanchez. CCNY is able to win that ball. Quick reset, another throw in. This is Gomez now resetting the action. Duchoshe able to continue with it. Duchoshe off a CSI defender, and Di Benedetto is there. And coming up limping a little bit was Gabrielle Duchoshe. 11 goals in 10 games, leads CCNY.
Yeah, and that was a beautiful individual offensive effort that nearly led to a scoring opportunity for the Beavers. So, you know, Duchoshe playing very well and nearly tied the game up.
Yeah, and you can tell what CCNY wants to do as you see the total shots on your screen. Still CCNY without an official shot, although they've been knocking on the door a little bit more since falling behind. Pelinkovic on the left side, on the near side. Perello, and retreating backwards was Laval, who was able to get her head on it, but out of play.
Yeah, and I thought that one was going to go over her head, Dave. She did a great job getting a head on it, but knocking it wide past the far post. So CCNY gets the free kick, but the Dolphins turn the possession around.
The lawyers, Aparicio is able to sky one straight up in the air. Spilled out of play once again by CCNY. Mignon first touch on it. CCNY able to take it away. This is Gomez now. Drops it back off, or wanted to drop it back off to Rosario. Successfully does. And now a turnover near midfield. This is Smith. Smith, the toe pass over to Pelinkovic. Pelinkovic almost had a wide open Laval. Too strong, and it will end up all the way out of play.
And I wasn't sure, Dave, if Laval was in an offside position or not. And you know, I was looking over toward the linesman on the play, and it looked like if Laval had gotten that ball, the flag might have gone up. It was a close play, but the Beavers come away with possession.
Either way, you could tell with the turnover, the Beavers were a little bit out of position guarding Laval. And she's now locked in a war far side with Syed. She's able to slip by. Dolphins put one in the box. The flag is up, as that one might have gone past the goal line. So this will be a goal kick here for CCNY.
And, you know, Dave, you mentioned before the Beavers still looking for their first official shot on goal. And, you know, the men's team did a good job of, I think, allowing just one shot on goal in that game against earlier against Hunter College. And that came at the end of the game. So, you know, both teams continuing to play well, continuing not to allow goals, and now a big opportunity coming up for the Dolphins.
Yeah, so this one about 20, 22 yards out here for Perello, right where she likes it teed up. You're going to get a good look at it on your screen. You already see the Dolphins heavily in favor of the shots on goal situation. The Beavers will set up a 4-person wall. And here's Perello's attempt. She's looking top shelf, and it's just over the bar.
Yeah, another big opportunity that time by Perello, and she just put it over the top. So another big opportunity, but the Beavers escape and still trail by just a single goal, 1-0.
So chances have been tempered for both teams, but the Dolphins continue to get the better looks. Official shot on goal count remains 6-0 in favor of the Dolphins. And once again, they win a 50-50 ball near midfield. Aracena controls briefly now over to Gomez on the far sideline. Interrupted by Aparicio. She spills it straight out, allows the CSI defense to backpedal into position. Rosario battling with Smith, and we'll have a foul called on the Dolphins. Game 2 of a CUNY Game of the Week doubleheader here as we have another look at the free kick by Perello. Missed it by a few feet high.
Yeah, Langkamp in good position on that one, Dave. It looked like she was there to knock it over the top if need be, but the shot went just a little high.
So Deloya skies one straight up. Sanchez is able to finally get down to it. She's able to sidestep one defender, sidesteps another, but purple jerseys are there to give chase. Zuluaga had the first touch. This is Aracena now, looking to play it up to Rosario. Rosario looking for Duchoche, and it's off the CSI defense, and actually it's going to be called a goal kick.
Yeah, so a nice play that time by the Dolphins defense is once again Duchoche making herself very dangerous inside the box, but not able to get that final touch. So free kick coming up here for the Dolphins.
So Aparicio here after the goal kick was won by the Dolphins. This one spilled out by Sanchez, so CCNY able to quickly reset as we are approaching the 34th minute of play here. Dolphins continuing just to spill things out as CCNY now working in just small chunks down the far side of the field. So on the far side after the reset, Amy Gomez will throw it in. CSI able to win the first touch. Ball is yet to settle. A lot of jerseys in the area, but CSI finally escapes with some room for Smith. Smith, long lead pass to Laval. She's in a foot race with Saeed. It's close to the end line, and it is put right down the line for Landkamp, and Landkamp wants to reset quickly here, and she does over to Grisales Agudalo, and now we have a heavy interruption here as we have a stoppage of play, and Lauren Smith, I believe, will be shown a yellow card. She will, as she went in too strong on Daniela Grisales Agudelo.
Yeah, I'm not sure she had any malicious intention on that play, Dave, but she did come barreling in at full speed and really hit Grisales and Duello hard. She's okay, and Aracena will take the free kick now for the Beavers as we wait for the official to start the clock.
And when it gets started, there'll be officially 10 minutes and 5 seconds remaining here in this first half. A half that CSI could be very happy with, but of course they'd love to put up another digit on that board. There's a long lead pass by Agudalo. CSI defense is there. Sanchez with the first touch. It's taken away from her by Zuluaga. She's spilled. Won by the Dolphins. Sanchez over to Pelinkovic. Pelinkovic soft touch over to Perello. Gets it back to Deloya. She's looking to once again find Perello. She does. She's locked in a foot race with Barrera. And now coming in to converge was the defense. It's Perello. Once again off the defender. That ball still spilling, and that one's kicked right into the face of Lauren Smith. And Smith is down in a heap. And that one, because it hits the head, Mike, it's an immediate stoppage as can't risk any type of head injury here. Smith looks to be okay.
Yeah, that one, she just was in the wrong place at the wrong time as the Beavers were looking to wheel the ball out of the offensive zone, and that hit Lauren right in the face, and hopefully she's okay. She's played very well for the Dolphins and really such an important part of everything that the Dolphins do. So with 9 minutes and 13 seconds remaining, Dolphins leading by a score 1-0, and fortunately for the Dolphins, Lauren seems to be pretty alert and seems to be okay as we have an opportunity to see the end of that play where Lauren took the ball in the face and now up on her feet and looks to be okay.
And while we have this little break, Mike, we remind our fans that today's game is being sponsored by the Army ROTC. Register for Army ROTC to be a leader and an officer in the U.S. Army, Army Reserve, or Army National Guard. You can also be eligible for full tuition scholarships. Lead the team that makes a difference. Contact CUNY ROTC today at 212-650-6478. Again, that's 212-650-6478, paid for by the United States Army. So when we reset here, CSI might have possession, but they will concede it back, or there'll be just a drop ball here. Samantha Lepardo has checked into the game to replace Smith. We figured that Lepardo would come in at some point in this game, Mike. She's come in and has gotten increased minutes since returning from injuries, but I don't think CSI expected her to replace Lauren Smith, who's usually a 90-minute fixture for the Dolphins, especially in close games like these.
Yeah, and for Samantha, this is going to be her 7th game. She's picked up a goal, but she's also done some very nice things offensively in her first year.
Barrera able to reset things, and it's worked to the back of the line. Lepardo with her first touch, and Laval got rocked. And then it was Laura Hernandez who went flying. I don't know how that happened. She might have been trying to hop over Laval. But this is going to be another free kick here. This one from farther out. About 26, 28 yards out here for Adriana Perello.
She could put this on goal, Dave.
She's been close before. That one heading high and punched over by Landkamp. Landkamp had very good position, and all she had to do was really jump up and grab it, but she had to time it well. After all this, the Dolphins will earn themselves another corner.
Yeah, so, you know, a good job by Landkamp of making the save on the ball, but having to give away the corner. So nice shot by Perello, and she'll come right over now and take the corner kick.
You can see Landkamp timing that on that jump, making the save. We're back to live action here, right on the goal mouth, and that skipped off a couple of different players. Finally getting to it were the Beavers. Deloya gets a quick touch on it. Now the ball lands on the foot of Perello. Perello looking midfield, a little bit too strong. Pelinkovic able to retreat, but CCNY, after all of that, will be able to make a play here. Duchauche had a quick touch on it, but Aparicio able to play it over to the middle of the field. Pelinkovic over to Perello. She's looking for some help. Sprinkles continue to rain down here at CSI. As the rain picking up just a little bit. It's a misting rain, but the wind is now a factor, as we have a war going on here at midfield. It's Lepardo. Lepardo's able to skip over Barrera, looking for space. CCNY is there to clear as we have a ball approaching us here. Deloya will have the throw-in. Just over 6 minutes to go here in the opening stanza. This is Di Stefano, who's been very active on the back line, joining the attack. But the ball given up. Nice job by Pelinkovic as she sheds Agudelo. That pass interrupted by Rosario. Perello's there. Now Di Stefano. And Pelinkovic sidesteps one defender. That was Aracena. And now a long threading pass to Lepardo. Lepardo is going to have to give chase just to catch up to this one. She's hit from behind, but Lepardo's able to stay with it. She draws one into the box. Off the chest of Aracena, and having to scramble and kick it out of play were the Beavers. So this is going to be another corner kick for the Dolphins. The Beavers playing with fire here, Mike, and the Dolphins will get another opportunity here from the near side to cash in.
Yeah, that time the Beavers a little disorganized in the back and fortunate to escape that with just a corner kick.
It will once again be Perello to take it with the right foot. Plenty of light blue jerseys right in front of Landkamp. They spread out a little bit more. Near side, Landcap with a quick punch, and that's going to be over the bar and out of play. Another corner kick upcoming.
Yeah, that was really close, Dave. Another nice play in goal by Landcamp, who, you mentioned played so well in the game against the Dolphins last game, playing well again and keeping the Beavers in this one.
They'll redo it again. Perello calls her shot, lays into it. This one is more towards the back post, and that one skips out of play.
Yeah, so an opportunity that time for the Dolphins, and I believe that was Aparicio getting her head on that one and knocking the ball out of bounds, and she's very effective using her head to score goals, and the Beavers will get the free kick.
Yeah, using her head to score goals. We saw that in the CUNY Championship against Lehman College. As here we have another run here for CCNY. This is Sanchez with some space and cannot gain the goal line there and can't turn at it. And it'll be another goal kick here for Landcamp, who's been busy.
Yeah, and that's a couple of times here, Dave, in the first half that Sanchez just got the ball a little bit too far ahead of herself, and the Beavers with the free kick once again. As the clock continues to wind down here as we approach 4 minutes remaining here in this first half.
And so now another 50-50 ball won by the Dolphins. This is Laval. She backpedals it up to Aparicio. It's spilled out and out of play.
In the last couple of possessions, Dave, the Dolphins having some unmarked plays deep inside Beaver territory. The Beavers back on defense now, but really have to commit to defense against this very potent CSI offense.
And that one skipped into the box by Laval. She was able to get a foot on it, but it's off the defense, and this will be another corner kick here for the Dolphins as we have under 3.5 to go. The Dolphins with another big opportunity here.
Yeah, the sixth corner kick, Dave, of the first half for the Dolphins, and, a couple of them being given away pretty easily, and we mentioned in the men's game that those are dangerous, and that's how the men got their first goal. Let's see what the Dolphins do here with their sixth corner.
That was a short line driver that the Beavers were able to get to first, and still scrambling to get it out. Once again, a quick shot that was unleashed by, was that Laval or Di Stefano? Yeah, that was Di Stefano who was able to get to it. She now has to get all the way back to her defensive position, but here's an interception here for Lepardo as she's bodied off the ball, and another corner kick there as getting to it first was Grisales Agudelo. And the Dolphins have been living in the corners here over the last couple of minutes. This will be their 7th corner kick coming up here of this first half.
Yeah, that's a lot of corners, Dave, and Dolphins have been getting chances on them. And Perello with another corner kick, and she takes almost all of them for the Dolphins, Dave, and she's been busy here this afternoon.
Perello gets into it. That's a nice one right in front, and it was headed wide, well wide of play.
It was headed wide, Dave, but that was an extremely dangerous opportunity, and the Beavers very fortunate. And, Dave, for as well as the Dolphins play, the Beavers still right in this, trailing just 1-0. Dolphins out shooting the Beavers 12-0, but in the all-important count, it's just 1-0.
Well, Mike, in that regular season tie last year, it finished 2-2. CSI outshot CCNY 43-7, and yet 2-2 on the final scoreboard. CCNY was able to keep it close and cash in on the limited chances that they had. That one once again cleared out over to midfield. Di Stefano able to get it over, and Perello spills it out of bounds. CCNY will push up as we are approaching 1 minute here in the first half. Perello plays up to Laval. Aracena was looking in the direction of Gomez. Dolphins able to punch it right back into the attacking side. Aparicio skies one up in the air here as we're inside of 45 seconds to go. Sanchez drops it off to Mignon. Mignon over to Pelinkovic. And there's an overlapping ball to Aparicio. She's got space. Lisbeth Aparicio puts one in front, and it spills out into the open, and it is cashed in by the Dolphins. an exceptional play by the Dolphins as they're able to make it a 2-0 game on what you have to believe is a misplay. Samantha Lepardo will get the honors here. She came in to replace Lauren Smith, Mike, and she makes the CCNY Beavers pay.
Then, you know, it was Aparicio bringing the ball down the far sideline, and she was able to get that ball in front. And Lepardo made no mistake at all as Landcamp had to come out and try to make sure Aparicio didn't put it right in the net as we have another look.
Yeah, and that just skips right off of Landcamp's fists and ended up right near the goal mouth. As CCNY looking for a quick reset here and looking to gain the box was Agudelo. Dolphins able to spill it out with 10 seconds left as we have a whistle here and a foul whistled against CCNY. But the Dolphins, right before the end of the first half, might take a stranglehold of this game. They will go into halftime with a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, Dave, but a little bit of a concern here is Rebecca DeLoya coming up very gimpy here at halftime as she hobbles off the field, Dave, and she is barely able to get over to the sideline. As a matter of fact, she has not gotten over to the sideline. So Dolphins with that big goal in the last minute, an exciting goal, but now Rebecca DeLoya down on the field. So big concerns for the Dolphins heading into halftime.
All right, so we are at the end of the first half here at CSI. It's the Dolphins 2 and the Beavers nothing here as we go into halftime. Come back with us when we have our halftime break. We'll have an exclusive interview coming up next, so stay with us. You are watching CSI Dolphins Soccer right here on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
Here she comes. I, Krista, take you, Jamie, to be my wife.
The ceremony was a blast. It was just like this surreal moment of my dreams are coming true.
When we found out that we were pregnant, we were just elated. We were just sitting there waiting for the pediatrician. She said, "Oh, I apologize. She won't be taking you in as a client."
We are a lesbian couple, but she's just a baby. She's the one you're denying the service to.
And sitting there in that small, cold room, I wanted to cry, just thinking, what did we bring this kid into?
We're simply asking to treat our family the same way that you would treat any family.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be. So we were walking to school. At the corner, we waited for the traffic light.
I started thinking about lunch. Mom packed me turkey and cheese.
She's
I really
smart,
want cheese pizza,
but
like at Luigi's.
sometimes her mind wanders.
They have this video game there, and Kate's got the high score. We should have a sleepover. Maybe I should pack my pajamas.
I remember saying, Laura? Laura?
I think I heard Mom say something.
The sign says don't walk.
Sometimes it's so overwhelming.
When we finally got there,
she gave me a hug goodbye.
I really hope she doesn't have another bad day at school
today.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. That's why there's Understood.org, a free online resource for the parents of the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues. Here you'll get personalized recommendations, practical tips, daily access to experts, and more. Go from misunderstanding to Understood.org.
Welcome back here to the CSI Soccer Complex. The CSI women's soccer team up 2-0 against their rivals, the CCNY Beavers. And while we have a halftime break, I'm here alongside CSI head men's basketball coach and camps and clinics coordinator, TJ Tibbs. TJ, you're here at this field for a little bit of different reasons, supervising today's activities. What do you make of the doubleheader so far?
Great CUNY matchup. The men's game was highly contested. We pulled away in the end, and this one looks to be the same. You know, we got a goal in the end, but these are two teams that are playing for the top of the conference, and it won't be a mistake if they see each other again in the playoffs.
And during halftime of the men's game, it was Adeola Latunji who joined the crew and was a part of our interview, talked a little bit about the team. And now, you know, with you being here, obviously there's a basketball presence at some of these games, a lot more support across different teams. Tell us a little bit about how involved you want your teams to be here at some of these other events.
Yeah, I want them to be at everything that they could possibly be at. I think it's very important to support the other student athletes. It's very important to come out here, show our support, because we're a big family here in the athletic department. And you never know, too, Division III athletics, the way it is, you may need some help. You may need somebody to do something, to carry something. And our guys have to learn how to be servants first. And it starts from myself and my coaching staff, too.
All right, and I'm going to tell you, I ask you a little bit about the team in just a moment. But first, let me ask you, as a former student athlete at the College of Staten Island, what are some of your greatest takeaways as an athlete that you've tried to instill in some of the other athletes that are here now?
Well, some of the best moments I had here as a student athlete were everybody else's final moments. I remember volleyball games, baseball games, freezing cold outside because most of the season is played in the cold, and just enjoying everybody else's time. But most importantly, the best thing about this campus is that everybody from, you know, the president on down is going to support us. You're going to see them at the games. You'll see them in the cafeteria. So we know who the people are who are making decisions on campus. We can have a conversation with them, and that's the biggest thing I love about CSI even still.
And coming back to, of course, CSI from an assistant coach position at Baruch College, and obviously having to take over for a legend in Tony Petoza, having that monumental task of leading a team that was just coming off of a championship, that had graduated some of its star players. You know, a lot of people, you guys had you pegged for a rebuilding season, but you shocked a lot of people. You really installed a great culture. Tell me a little bit about your first season as a head coach here at CSI.
Well, I'm really grateful to my assistant coaches, and especially to the seniors we had last year, the leaders. And I'll also be remiss if I didn't add the juniors, Rob Rossiter and Stephen Flagg. Those guys were really the core of what we did. I came in, and because I'm an alum, I knew what kind of went on. You can't replace Tony. I've only tried to build on what he has and what he's given me as a man. And we just took it and we just tried to get better every single day. Like I said, the kids, the seniors, and the juniors really led our team. And we just gave ourselves a chance to have a chance in each of the playoff games at the end.
And speaking of building on top of something strong, now the pressure's on you guys to actually repeat and to do it for a third straight time, something that's very, very rare in this conference and even nationally around some of these strong conferences as well. So, tell me a little bit about the pressure that's on your team to kind of continue this progress.
I think pressure is self-created. We have very high expectations in everything that we do, so we openly talk about winning championships, but we know it's never going to be easy, especially when you got all the tough coaches and players that are returning in the league, everything that we lost from last year. So the standard for us is to prepare as well as we can every day to try to put ourselves in a position to win a championship. But of course, everybody else is trying to do that too. So nobody else's outside expectations could be higher than our own. We welcome those things, but at the same time, we know that it's going to be very difficult, and we have to, fight day in and day out to get better and to give these other CUNY teams the best shot that we could possibly give them.
So I know last year when the season ended at Cabrini, I know that you were very dismayed by the final result. Obviously, you wanted this team to go further. At the end of the day, what does a team coached by you? What's the ultimate goal? What do you want to be able to achieve?
Well, to be in every single game, we want to give ourselves a chance. We want to be in a chance to win a CUNY championship every single year, because that's the way you get into the tournament. And we want to be a team that no matter who we play, whether it's in the region, it's nationally, it's internationally, whatever the case may be, in a preseason event, we want to be a team that's known that we play hard, we play together, we have great students, and we're going to compete in every single game, and that we have a chance regardless of what it says on paper.
All right, well, thank you, TJ, for being a part of us here today.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, so TJ Tibbs, championship as a player, championship as a coach, and of course looking to continue that trend here at the College of Staten Island. When we come back, it's the second half here live from the CSI Soccer Complex. The Dolphins lead CCNY 2-0. Stay with us.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft. To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60. Now I get it.
This is why you took a second job. While you taught yourself how to fix the plumbing. While you'll do whatever it takes to keep your home. And that is why we want to help. We are making home affordable, a free government resource that can make paying the mortgage easier. Call 888-995-HOPE today.
Welcome back here to the CSI Soccer Complex. The Dolphins over the Beavers 2-0 here at halftime. We are just moments away from the start of the second half here from CSI. It's gotten a little bit more foggy here, Mike. The mist is coming down a lot stronger. It's definitely a lot colder than it was when we first started this game and when we first started the afternoon when the CSI men defeated Hunter College. But it was a first half the Dolphins can really be proud of. They scored one goal early, they scored one goal late, and they kind of dominated everything in between.
Yeah, Dave, they really did. And, the Beavers were just less than a minute away from getting into halftime, trailing by a score of just 1-0. But it was a big goal by Samantha Lepardo, who had checked into the game with just about 9 minutes remaining in the first half, as she was able to take a beautiful ball from Lisbeth Aparicio, and she had plenty of room, and she made no mistake about it, picking up our second goal of the game after Miroslav Palikovic scored the first goal in the 6th minute on a nice pass from Nermina Bracic. So Dolphins get that big goal late in the half, Dave. A little bit of an injury scare as Rebecca DeLoya comes off the field slowly at the end of the first half. We'll see how she is in half number 2, as it looks like she will go out onto the field to start the second half. So certainly real good, exciting news for the Dolphins as we have an opportunity to see the second goal.
Yeah, and, these are the goals, obviously, that got scored. That was Palinkovic's goal in the 5th minute of play, where she was literally left alone after a couple of quick passes. Of course, the second was by Nermina Bracic, who picks up the assist for Palinkovic. It was her 5th of the season, and Lepardo, of course, added her 2nd of the season much later in the frame to make it 2-0. Mike, another player who's back out onto the pitch for the Dolphins is Lauren Smith. Remember, she came out of the game in favor of Lepardo after she got hit in the face with a ball, and obviously anytime there's a head injury, there's a lot of concern, but she's back out there on the field after missing the final 9 minutes. And we should mention, too, that Smith for CSI and Aracena for CCNY both playing and both in the game with a yellow card. You can see the raindrops on your camera lens, just an indication of the fact that it is coming down here and the wind is very strong.
And, Dave, you mentioned two very pieces of good news. DeLoya in the game for the Dolphins and Smith back into the game for the Dolphins. So both players back onto the pitch for CSI, who've played well in the first half, have yet to allow a shot and lead by a score of 2-0.
And that last ball coming in, our engineer, Joe Foreman, almost got rocked as he was not anticipating that ball coming out. It smoked in here. Yeah, and he was very hard at work. So Aparicio, the quick throw in, first touch by CCNY. The Dolphins did a lot of their attacking from the right side of the field in the first half, so we'll probably see a lot more work here on the near side in half number 2.
And if you're CCNY here, Dave, you kind of hope to take advantage of the wind here in the second half, as they'll have it at their back as they try to fight their way back. And
a quick 1-2 pass, but that was too strong. Too much anticipation that time. And now we'll have Kimberly Keblish with the quick reset. Di Stefano over to Mulligan. Mulligan had a hard time playing it off of her shin. And Keblish, once again, will have another opportunity to throw it in down the sideline. Actually, this time she'll yield over to Amy Gomez. Gomez tries to get it into the box. Very strong shoulder to shoulder that time between Agudelo. This is Laval. Laval turns, look to do a drop pass over with Smith. She wasn't in position. It's Perello. And we are going to have a quick whistle as we have a player down here for CCNY. That will be number 5, Amy Gomez. CCNY went the first half without a substitution. 11 players giving 45 minutes. We mentioned the activity of their goalkeeper, Catherine Landkamp. She made 6 saves in the first half. Di Benedetto on the opposite side for CSI was active but did not make any saves. Gomez with a quick pass over to Penkausha. Penkausha did not play in the first half, so she's seeing her first action here.
No, Dave, the Dolphins trying to break their 2-game losing streak, both of those losses in non-conference games, not making it any easier on themselves, heading to Montclair State University this Monday night for a 7 p.m. start. So another big challenge for the Dolphins in their non-conference schedule.
No, you said it, Mike. That will be a challenge. Montclair State, always one of the most accomplished teams regionally in women's soccer. And, of course, our head coach, Brittany Caceres, a product of Montclair State University as a player, so be a chance for her to visit her alma mater. As we have Bracic battling with Aracena, and Bracic actually collided with Nicole Mignon, her own player. Laval putting one right on goal. That was interrupted by the defense, and Laura Hernandez, and now Mignon very gingerly trying to get up, but she will stay on the ground. Clock will stop here as the CSI Athletics training staff and Coach Caceres will go out to meet Mignon, and that was just a tough luck play, Mike. Mignon collided with her own player going for the loose ball, and Mignon, who was CSI's leading scorer from last year after a freshman year where she played a majority of the time in goal. This year, more of a defensive midfielder. And we're going to have a substitution as Jacqueline Guillen will check back in for CCNY after playing the entire first half. If the Dolphins make a substitution on their side, Guillen will have a chance to get into the game as well.
So Mignon on the field, clearly an injury to her left leg, and hopefully she's okay. Leading goal scorer on the Dolphins last year, Dave, with 8, and has played extremely well for the Dolphins. And
yeah, you can see pretty crystal clear on your screen there that although there are some smiles, and there's the play.
Yeah, and
good
it
job
was
capturing it by Joe Foreman, but yeah, it was Bracic who just collided with her.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those plays, Dave, where players collide at the knees, and you see it happening in basketball games and in soccer games all the time. And, you know, the good news is that Nicole is up, she's on her feet, and it looks like she's going to be able to walk off under her own power. So, you know, a tough blow that time for Nicole, but the good news, like we say, Dave, is she's walking off the field under her own power.
So CSI has a choice. They can either play with 10 and Nicole can skirt right back in, or they can bring in a substitution. I would believe that would be the case. It will be Victoria Sanchez coming in for Nicole Mignon, and that will also allow Guillen to come in to replace number 21, Jessica Penkausha. So Penkausha playing a total of 4 minutes and 9 seconds before she gets taken out of the game. And after all of this, CSI will have themselves a corner kick, Mike, after that last attempt up the field, started by Samantha Laval. And it will be Perello in a familiar territory here, right at the corner. This will be on the near side. Clock will start as soon as this ball gets struck. That one's right at the top of the box. Coming in was Sanchez, but she only got part of her head on it and skips out close to midfield. The Dolphins are able to double back and get to it here. Mulligan wants to reverse Fields, but there is the defense as Guillen controls first. Duchoshe gives it up near midfield. Once again, not a lot of real estate for CCNY to operate. And now here's a through ball that's interrupted nicely by Saeed. CCNY continues in very short passes up the field, but that one goes out past the sideline and out of play. We're officially 5 minutes into the second half here. Dolphins up by 2, and they've shut CCNY out on the scoreboard and in the shot column as well. Looking to get sprung free now is Agudelo. Agudelo working the far sideline with DiStefano. And after all of that, DiStefano able to poke one out of bounds. Actually, that was Mulligan who poked it out.
Yeah, the Beavers just finding themselves one shot away, Dave, from getting right back in the game. The Dolphins looking for that big third goal to really break this one open here in this second half.
Pelinkovic wants to get it over to Bracic. And here's a handball that's going to be whistled right in the middle of the pitch. And it will go against Saeed. And now from a lot farther out, it will be Perello to take another opportunity here. You wonder if she'll try to put this one far post or right on goal.
Yeah, Dave, I think with the way the wind's blowing in the distance, that's going to be a tough shot for Adriana. We think she would make a play on this one.
She's going to put it right on goal, and it's Landkamp there. Landkamp drifting over to her right, makes a rather easy save. But for the Dolphins, that now their 9th shot on goal of the game. And this one goes over the head of Mulligan. She now has to retreat with 2 Beavers bearing down at her. De Benedetto cannot play it with the hands, so she just springs it out. And here comes CCNY. Looked like she was in an offside position, and now the flag goes up as Ingrid Rosario was a good 2 or 3 feet above the defense.
Yeah, so the offside's called, and that was a big opportunity there, Dave, for the Beavers because they had a lot of space deep inside the Dolphin box, and that doesn't happen very often, but they go offsides, and the Dolphins get the free kick.
So Perello drops off to Aparicio. Aparicio now running full stride, looking for Laval. She drops it right off to Bracic. Bracic with a head of steam, looking right in the middle of the pitch, but a little too strong in the direction of Victoria Sanchez.
Yeah, and Sanchez once again, Dave, about a step away from a golden opportunity to get the third goal. Instead, the Beavers trying to look to counterattack.
The Beavers looking to reset quickly. Now in the middle of the field to Aracena. Aracena being double-teamed. Gets away, and now DiStefano is going to get called for the foul, and now the Beavers will have themselves a nice opportunity to go at goal here, Mike, just beyond the goal box.
Yeah, and you know, Dave, they haven't gotten a shot on goal here all afternoon, but if they're going to get themselves back into the game, this is a huge opportunity for them to do so with a free kick opportunity coming up just about 10 yards or so above the penalty area, right in the center of the field. Not much wind blowing right now, and it looks like Aracena is going to take the free kick.
And she takes a short run at it, puts one on, frame it in! De Benedetto got a fingertip on it, but that was headed into the far post no matter what. And CCNY, on their first shot of the game, are right back in it.
Yeah, you know, Dave, the Dolphins haven't given up a conference goal all season long, and Aracena did a nice job on that free kick, a beautiful kick, taking advantage and putting it into the near post. The Benedetto able to get a hand on it, but it wasn't enough as Aracena picks up, I believe, her 11th goal of the year for the Beavers, and it's a game once again, Dave, 2-1.
Puts herself in a tie for the team lead in goals this year, and just like that, the CCNY Beavers have halved the CSI lead, and all they needed was one shot to do it. You could see the Dolphins building their three-person wall, but Aracena was able to just drop it in. And there's a perfectly placed ball, great replay. You see it on your screen, and Aracena did well. Dolphins left that door open, Mike, and they had a big foul right outside their box. And, you know, good teams, Mike, sometimes they don't need a lot of opportunities, but they will make you pay for your mistakes, and that's what the Beavers did.
Yeah, you know, the Dolphins had been pretty much mistake-free all afternoon, but a key foul deep inside Dolphin territory gave Aracena a free kick, and, you know, she's scored a lot of goals on this field, and she added another one to bring the Beavers right back into the game.
And you can tell it's given the CCNY Beavers a lot of momentum and a lot of spring in their step, as that time Agudelo saw a ball go past the goal line. The Dolphins will tee it up for a goal kick.
And the Beavers coming into Staten Island, Dave, and serving notice that they're a force to be reckoned with in the conference here in 2018.
And in their CUNY semifinal last year, it was the Dolphins taking a 2-0 lead with an early goal and a late first half goal, and then CCNY scored a goal in the second half of that game around the 75th minute. But now they score one early here to make this a wide-open game over the next 35 minutes.
Well, Dolphins not getting nearly the opportunity so far here in the second half, as they're going to look to see maybe if they can get a little bit of momentum back on their own, Dave. There's still over 34 minutes remaining in this game, and you can't afford to go into a defensive shell. You got to press the issue and try to get the third goal.
No, and fully understanding that CCNY still needs to come forward, they will generate some opportunities via the counter. That's how they got that foul call, as we have Mulligan putting one right at the center of the pitch. Brocic leaves it for Laval. Laval battling. There's three Beavers next to her, and she puts one on goal, and it almost skipped in off of the waiting hands of Landcamp. That's where that slick ball comes into play, Mike, as that one was skipping in on Landcamp and did a nice job to double back and get it.
Yeah, she really did, and I think it was Victoria Sanchez, Dave, who was flying in, and if Landcamp had let that ball go, she was there with an opportunity to tap it in, but instead she makes the big save, keeping this a 2-1 game.
Yeah, Lapardo in the 44th minute was able to stuff one home right on the doorstep of the goal mouth in the first half, and that had danger written all over it. We've played 11 and a half minutes here of the second half. CCNY with the only second half goal. They trail the Dolphins by 1. Another 50-50 ball in the middle, won by the Dolphins. This is Aparicio. She's got a lot of room ahead of her, and Deshoche was able to get to her and spill it out of bounds, and this gives the purple jerseys a chance to get back defensively and match up. Perello able to spot one up near the near side. A quick shot by Smith, and that shot was blocked into the parking lot. The Dolphins will get themselves another corner kick out of this.
Good opportunity there for the Dolphins, but the shot is blocked, and Dolphins will go to the corner for the 10th time here this afternoon.
Dolphins 0 for their first 9 on corners, but they've been close. Here's another line driver right to the top of the box. Aparicio with a quick touch. It's back to Perello if she can get to it. She skies one forward right at the top of the box. Lots of purple jerseys there. They spill it out to midfield. Mulligan handles, gets it over to Perello. Perello looking sideline. Beautiful pass to Brocic near the corner flag. She keeps it from going out. Wants to work the goal line. Bodies tangled. This will be a free kick for the Dolphins.
Wow, and that's a tough call on the Beavers, and that's going to lead to a big opportunity here for the Dolphins. Deep on the side, Dave, but really an opportunity to put that ball right into the center of the box, and Dolphins have been dangerous on these kind of opportunities here. And they haven't created a big chance in a few minutes.
Well, Perello now puts one in, low line drive, and there's a nice one put on goal off of Aparicio's boot. And another save for Landcamp. That's her 9th. CSI resets quickly. Bodies tangle. Loose ball, won by the Beavers. They spill it all the way deep in CSI's zone. Mulligan, the only one there, gives it back to Di Benedetto. She cannot play with the hand. She punches one right to the middle of the field, given away. And Di Stefano is there for the Dolphins. Drops it off to Aparicio. Aparicio, a threading ball over to Smith. Nice through ball there for Aparicio. Palinkovic looking for Aparicio. She's got a lot of room in front of her to put this one, to cross it up. That one's right past everything, and a direct shot that just goes wide. Sanchez just missed on it, Mike.
Yeah, what a play by Aparicio. She went around one defender, drew another one to her, put a perfect ball across. Sanchez with a lot of open space, just drilled the ball wide. That was a big opportunity missed there for the Dolphins.
You can see the Dolphins maximizing on their counterattack. CCNY forced to come up with numbers, and once they were able to get that ball in their favor, they came up swarming with numbers. It's taken CCNY a little bit extra time now to get back defensively, and that'll happen in around this point of the game, 60th minute, and that's why we get ourselves a substitution. No check-in on that substitution by CCNY. It was number 19 coming in as we got another look at that replay. Keblish returning to the game. Lauren Smith looking for a through ball. Laval got one step on it. She sidesteps one defender, and Landcamp is there to meet her and spills her down in the process.
Yeah, that was the best opportunity for Laval here this afternoon. The Dolphins knocking on the doorstep twice denied, now looking to come back once again.
Lost in that was a tremendous play by Landcamp. This is Bracic crossing one in the box. Landcamp stays dedicated to her line. CCNY now looking a little bit out of sorts as the Dolphins moving the ball quickly. There's another one put on frame and handled by Landcamp.
You're right, Dave. CCNY looking very disorganized in the back. The Dolphins with several opportunities, but once again, not able to convert. They now have 12 shots on goal. Beavers trail by 1, 2-1.
Bracic now controls. She has to retreat. Dolphins will reset their attack. Mulligan up the sideline. Interrupted briefly by the Beavers. Aparicio will reset. Looking sideline to Bracic. Bracic with 2 defenders on her, and it's too strong for Aparicio.
And Dolphins trying to spring how down the near sideline, and she had plenty of room once again, but passed a little bit too far ahead, and the Beavers will now throw in.
A little bit of a late horn as CCNY could not get their sub in when they wanted it. And the ball goes out of bounds.
Yeah, Mulligan forced to play it over the near sideline as the Beavers will get their substitution.
Tatiana Zuluaga returns. Sorry, Mike.
That's okay.
Guillen will come out. So CCNY, which did not sub a single player in the first half, Mike, bringing them in on a rotation here, looking to stay fresh in the field. Duchoshe trying to get some space. It's Rosario now working one-on-one against Di Stefano. That's been a battle all afternoon long. Aparicio punches one up to the middle to Laval. Laval drops off to Smith. Smith, one touch over to Sanchez. Sanchez could not receive it cleanly, and now she sprints down the left sideline. Sanchez gaining the middle of the box, putting one up front that was blocked. This is Palinkovic. Palinkovic unleashes one towards goal through the 5-hole of Landcamp and in. It's 3-1 Dolphins.
You know, Dave, when you get so many opportunities at goal, eventually your goalkeeper might make a mistake. That time it looked like a ball that Landcamp could have played, But a nice job by the Dolphins as Pelinkovic puts that ball on the net, gets her second goal of the game, and that really is a huge goal to give the Dolphins a 3-1 lead.
Masada Pelinkovic, we spoke about her in the pregame, how she's come on strong, and all she needs is that small window to shoot. That's exactly what she got, and she put one right through the wickets of Landcamp. Once again, this one might have skipped on Landcamp. That's exactly what happened, and once again, slick ball, slick gloves. It's 3-1 Dolphins.
Yeah, and the Beavers had gotten very porous all of a sudden in the back defensively, Dave, on the last few possessions, and Dolphins put 3 good opportunities on the net before probably their least best opportunity ends up in the goal.
Yeah, and the Dolphins' speed really at the top, Mike, has been the big difference. Here's another run here by the Dolphins, but played nicely that time by Saeed defensively. Duchauche to Deloya. Pelinkovic trying to reverse fields to Aparicio, and Aparicio gets spilled down. No whistle, no call.
Yeah, players going for the ball and colliding along the near sideline.
Yeah, number 19, Kimberly Keblish, looking to aid Aparicio getting up, and those are just 2 bodies spilling to the ground, going after the loose ball. Aparicio held the line, and that's why Keblish just plowed right through her.
So we have an opportunity to see a replay of that contact along the near sideline. The official put his flag up along the near sideline. The official, it looks like, will now give the Dolphins a foul on the play.
No, it's going to be a throw-in, as whatever was said on the sideline has been overruled. It will be CSI's ball, but it will be via the throw. They'll split the difference. Dolphins still have possession. Smith to Perello. Was looking over to Pelinkovic to reverse field. Turnovers there. And here comes Mulligan. Mulligan over to Aparicio. No one home there, as Duchauche was in the neighborhood. Aracena, the goal scorer, plays it. CCNY once again can't get through, and here's a giveaway for Mulligan onto the foot of Gomez. Gomez has to retreat, but she's going to try to get this back. It's off of the Beavers and out of play.
Nice defensive play that time by Aparicio. Dolphins end up with the throw-in, and it goes into Bracic.
Inside of 25 minutes to play now in regulation. Dolphins have their 2-goal lead from halftime back. It's 3-1. And that one spilled right out again. Mike, you should mention that Nicole Mignon is up and about on the CSI sideline doing some wind sprints, so she looks to be okay. That's good news for Dolphin fans.
Yeah, that's real good news. It's been a physical game and on both sides, and Dolphins leading by a score of 3-1.
And we've seen this show before. Here comes another corner kick for the Dolphins. Adriana Perello will get a running start into this one, puts one right at the center of goal. Di Stefano got a head on it. Laval in the neighborhood, but Landcamp is there.
Yeah, and Laval's been held off the scoreboard all afternoon long, and she was looking for an opportunity there, but once again, Landcamp there to make the save for the Beavers.
CSI once again able to win a 50-50 ball in the middle. This is Perello. She's able to get by Guillen. Ball looked out. Instead, CCNY continues. This is Gomez. Gomez now with a little bit of space, and she right foots one into the goal mouth, and Di Benedetto is able to play that one cleanly, and she will look to reverse field here. Waste a couple of precious seconds to boot.
Yeah, not the play the Beavers were looking for that time. Is the game he might have been trying to get that ball a little bit more toward the center, instead rolling harmlessly toward the Dolphin net.
Pelinkovic able to play one up top to Smith. Smith, one touch to Bracic, but she's being draped by Keblish. And that ball goes out of play. CSI will be able to throw it in.
And the Beavers, Dave, with just one shot on the afternoon, that the goal by Susan Aracena, making that last goal by Pelinkovic such a big goal for the Dolphins, really taking the pressure off and just changing the entire complexion of the second half. And
there is another ball skipped in. Landcamp able to cover up on that one before the Dolphins can get to it. She punts it out towards midfield. Mulligan with the one touch back onto CCNY's side. Sanchez locks up with Aracena, won by the Beavers, but CSI able to take it back, and they're going to have possession here. Getting ready to check back in for CCNY is Jacqueline Guillen.
You know, Dave, you got to give the Dolphins a lot of credit. When the Beavers picked up that goal and made it a one-goal game, the Dolphins really came back and put immediate pressure on the Beaver defense, and Landcamp made a couple of plays, and then the Dolphins got that big goal.
We have a substitution now as Guillen gets back into the game. As Mike mentioned, after today, the Dolphins will be away against Montclair State Monday night at 7 o'clock, and then a showdown with Lehman College in a rematch of last year's CUNY championship. That game will be played at South Field and in the Bronx at 7 p.m. on Wednesday night. Should be a good one. If the Dolphins can make this score hold, they and Lehman would be the only two unbeaten teams left in the CUNY Conference. But CCNY is going to have something to say about that over these next 21 minutes. As the ball dips into the CSI defense, Deloya was looking for Aparicio. Aparicio looking down the line, gets it more towards midfield to Smith. Smith has got two Dolphins to her right. This is Laval. Laval puts one right across the goal mouth. In the neighborhood was Sanchez, a little bit too strong.
Yeah, that time Laval drilling that one, and once again Sanchez just a step or two off that pass. Said the ball will go out of bounds, and it'll be a free kick opportunity here for the Beavers.
So we are inside of 21 minutes to go, as you can see on your screen. Bracic gets it over to Mulligan, now to Pelinkovic, who's also given a lot of room to operate here. A threading through ball to Sanchez. Sanchez too strong off her own foot, and Landcamp is there to interrupt.
Another good pressure attack that time as Sanchez that time able to get a foot on it, and Landcamp there to make the play once again.
Yeah, Landcamp, one of the best goalies in the CUNY Conference. She did see 2 goals go in off of her own hands through rebounds. Oh, and here's a chance for CCNY. Going in close and spilling it right under Di Benedetto was number 9, Daniela Grisales Agudelo. Somehow she got past the CSI defense. I think CSI wanted an offside call, didn't get it. And after sidestepping the defense, CSI inexplicably giving up an open goal, and it's now 3-2 in favor of the Dolphins.
Yeah, you know, Dave, that's not the defensive play you're looking for when you're up 2 goals, to allow a defender really to get in, an offender to get one-on-one against your goalkeeper. But Daniela Grisales Agudelo has had a great year all season long, and, you know, Dave, the Beavers have 2 shots on goal and 2 goals here this afternoon, and have found themselves right back in the game.
Absolutely maximizing their opportunities. It's something that you need to do when you're playing against the Dolphins. You're not going to get a lot of chances. You have to be able to cash in on them when you do, and that's exactly what the Beavers have done. 2 shots on goal, 2 goals for CCNY. And this is Laval. Laval, a threading ball to Bracic, but she's offside.
Yeah, Bracic just ahead of the play and offsides, as Dolphins have a big opportunity there, as you have an opportunity to look at the pass from Aracena. Aracena getting it in and, you know, taking her time and really making a nice play was Grisales Agudelo, as she waited for Di Benedetto to make her move and then slid it into the cage for CCNY's second goal of the game.
Well, we have under 19 minutes to play here. Bracic was looking in the direction of Laval or Aparicio. It has to be played by the Beavers. They're stuck in their own corner. Loose ball. Aparicio is able to win it. Now losing it to Said. She works it up top now to Rosario. Rosario still with it. One-on-one against Pelinkovic. She works it to the middle of the field.
You could feel the energy now on the Beavers, Dave. That goal really brought them right back in the game, and
yep, a lot more spring in the step of these Beavers, the CCNY Beavers team, as going down hard to the ground was the goal scorer, Grisales Agudelo. She does get back up under her own power, and a little bit of a late whistle, but a whistle indeed.
And you know, Dave, the Beavers were able to score their first goal off of a free kick opportunity. This one a little bit further away, but nonetheless, with the wind at their back, a golden opportunity to put that ball towards goal. And, you know, the Beavers haven't had many opportunities, but when they've had them, they've been able to take advantage of it. And the clock is continuing to wind down, but Beavers still with plenty of time left, trailing by a score 3-2.
And it's Aracena, one of the goal scorers today, to do the honors. She can put this one on goal, or she can slip it into the box. And this one is going to take a bounce. It ends up at the top of the box. CSI spills it out briefly. CCNY still controlling. Duchauche working one-on-one against Aparicio. Aparicio does well to get it out. Dolphins defense able to reset.
Yeah, Dolphins running around a little bit defensively on that last play as the Beavers turn up the offensive pressure.
And that one is put out past the goal line for the goal kick, as looks like Duchauche thought that Guillen was in the neighborhood, instead just missed her. And if you're CCNY, you now have 12 opponents, because that clock is going to get awful late pretty soon. Still plenty of time, and Nermina Bracic able to shed her defender. Looking to play it in the middle, a little too strong to Laval. A little frustrated by the pass was Laval. This is Aparicio able to sidestep one defender, but in the neighborhood is Saeed to control. That one goes out of play. The Dolphins So Aparicio will have the throw in here. Was looking for Bracic on a bounce. CCNY able to control. This is Saeed, but she loses it. And there is Bracic. Bracic able to cross one in front. A little bit behind Sanchez. She couldn't corral it. This is Palinkovic. Back up to Deloya. Deloya using her speed on the far sideline. Drops it off to Smith. Smith will retreat it back over to Mulligan. Mulligan reverses field over to Aparicio. CCNY giving chase. It's Perello. Back to Aparicio. Aparicio cross in the box. Interrupted by the Beavers. Palinkovic is going to get whistled for the foul. And we're going to have a foul whistled here, as getting spilled was number 2, Laura Hernandez. Aracena with the quick reset. Gets it over to Zuluaga. Looking up front, and now Di Stefano gets spilled. And we're going to have a yellow card. I believe that's going to go on number 9, Daniela Grisales Agudelo, the goal scorer for CCNY.
Yeah, she picks up the yellow. A little bit of a hard challenge from behind, earns her the yellow card, so it'll be a free kick for the Dolphins.
Clock is stopped with 15:06 remaining. Clock on your screen will continue to roll. Official time being kept on the field. Aparicio punches one straight up. Bracic is there. Tries to bring it down. That ball went out of play. Last touch by CCNY. And we'll have our substitutions getting to come back in. Nicole Mignon comes on in. She will replace Victoria Sanchez. And returning into the game for CCNY is Amy Gomez. She replaces Guillen.
So Mignon, who went out with that injury, Dave, in the second half, back on the field. So more good news for the Dolphins as they look to try to get that 4th goal.
And here's a ball that gets put in. Nice job by the defense there. Number 23, Alexandra Barrera, able to spill that one in. Dolphins continuing to put on pressure here. Perello skies one up in the air in the direction of Laval. And CCNY spills it right back out. Should mention that Guillen's day is done for CCNY. She's been in and out of the game twice in the second half. Chested down by the Beavers. The Dolphins looking to put one across, but that one's out of play. So the Beavers will get a chance to reset here via the goal kick, and 13.5 minutes just about remaining in this one. And while we pause, we'd like to thank Pepsi. Pepsi, the official soft drink of the CUNY Athletic Conference, part of our sponsorship package here for the CUNY Games of the Week right here at CSI. So Perello controls for CSI as the Dolphins win another 50-50 ball at midfield. This is Bracic now. She gains the box, skips one on goal, and Landcamp able to make the save. Not sure whether Brocic was looking to cross or shoot, but either way, she'll get credit for the shot. Landcamp makes her 12th save.
Yeah, so the Dolphins now with 15 shots on goal compared to just 2 for the Beavers. 26 total shots in the game compared to just 2 for CCNY. But the Beavers find themselves trailing by just a single goal, 3-2.
Yeah, being outshot is nothing new for CCNY against CSI. They were outshot 60-11 last year in 2 games. But only 1 goal separated them as we have bodies falling everywhere. Di Stefano is slow getting up. Now she does. Pelinkovic in a battle, losing it to Gomez briefly, but the Dolphins able to skip it out of play. Deloya won by CCNY. And now we have Rosario as we have the flag up for an offside. As Rosario, that's the second time she was caught in an offside position, Mike. If she keeps herself on the line, she could be sprung. It's the second time she was just over. Just over 12 minutes to play here. Dolphins looking to work sideline. Too strong. Mulligan in the intended area of Brocic. CCNY now playing it quickly to Gomez. Lost to Mulligan, and CCNY spills. Aparicio in the middle of the field to Laval, who has not had a lot of space at all today. Drops off to Aparicio. Nice play in space. Good takeaway by Aracena. Aracena looks to skip one towards the middle, and we have a collision there as Susan Aracena went in hard with Catherine Mulligan. There's no foul there.
Yeah, so both players going in hard, and the Dolphins will end up with the throw-in as we're just under 11 and a half minutes remaining, Dave, and it still remains a 1-goal game.
Yeah, both players getting up slow, and Mulligan stopped to tie her shoe. Now she's back into play. Play on the far side. If you're CSI, there's no real rush here or urgency to play balls that are kicked out of play by CCNY. If the Beavers choose to play that game, Mike, the Dolphins could take their time resetting. Once again, shoulder-to-shoulder action as Laval went toe-to-toe with Rodriguez.
Yeah, both teams really going at it here, Dave. It's been a physical game. It's been a fairly clean game right from the start, and it's going right down to the wire here this afternoon.
So we're over 10 minutes to play here, still plenty of time, but getting later and later for City College. That one spilled into the box. This is Perello with a chance, but she skies one upward and well over everything out of play. In any event, the Dolphins' 27th shot of the game. 15 of them have been on goal. And Landcamp, as we mentioned, coming into the game with only 14 saves on the season through 6 starts. She's made 12 saves here today. It's almost doubled her season total, and I believe the 20 saves she made against CSI last year were a career high for her. Here comes Deloya now, looking to thread one in the box. Interrupted at first. Now Pelinkovic puts one through near the goal. This is Brocic, looked to settle down, but she could not settle it in time, and it goes wide. But Pelinkovic, once again, Mike, not needing that big window, and was able to put one right on the shoe of Nermina Brocic.
Yeah, and I think Nermina had a little bit more time than she thought, Dave. Once she pulled inside the defender, she really had a lot of space, but put that one towards goal and shot it wide, leaving the door open for the Beavers here under 9:30 to go.
So this is it, the final 9 and change here. Last gasps for CCNY if they can get to the offensive, but right now it's CSI. This is Brocic, was looking across, and she got stuffed by Keblish, but it will lead to another corner kick. This will be the 11th corner of the game for the Dolphins.
Yeah, Dolphins really due to take advantage of one of these corner kicks here as Perello will go over and take another one.
They've been close, and Landcamp has fumbled a couple of these balls with that slick ball on her gloves. There's a low-line driver right in the middle of the goal box, and that one just put over the bar by Di Stefano. She's been all over the place in the box today, Mike.
Yeah, that time a beautiful corner kick right into the center of the box, and Di Stefano had room, but, you know, once again, the Dolphins put the ball just over the crossbar.
So Landcamp will have to try to generate some offense here via the goal kick. It's Perello settling near midfield. Aparicio over to Bracic. Lost near midfield. CCNY wants to turn to offense, but it's interrupted by Di Stefano, who's had a very physical, good game here for the Dolphins. This is Bracic. Bracic one-on-one, sheds one defender, looked at the top of the box. It was skipped away by the defense. Pelinkovic, thread one to Mignon. Mignon puts one on goal, and it's in! 4-2, the Dolphins take the lead on the goal by Mignon. She was given space by Pelinkovic on the pass and puts it right over the waiting arms of Landcamp, and the Dolphins have doubled up on the Beavers.
Yeah, Nicole Mignon picking up her second goal of the year. She was injured a little bit earlier in the second half, came back on the field, and that was just a nice offensive play by the Dolphins, working the ball all the way across the field, and it ended up on the foot of Mignon. A beautiful shot into the net to give the Dolphins a 4-2 lead with just over 7 minutes, 35 seconds remaining.
We've seen a couple of gorgeous goals today, and that was another one. CCNY now down to their final 7.5 minutes. Aparicio, the last line of defense for the Dolphins, drops off to Di Benedetto. Doesn't get all of that one, but it is successfully cleared. And there's, we got a tail end of that replay on the shot by Mignon, a good one. And that one goes out of play. This will be a goal kick here for CSI. If the score stands, the Dolphins will improve to 4-0 in conference play.
Assisted from number 24, Masada Pelinkovic, in the 83rd minute.
And as beautiful as that goal was, Mike, that pass by Pelinkovic, she had an open window with perhaps to put one on frame. She instead finds Mignon on the through ball. I mean, she's been doing it all. Pelinkovic has probably been one of the best players on the pitch for either team today.
Yeah, and it was a nice play by Bracic on the near side that started the ball going all the way across the pitch for the goal.
Here's a chance for CCNY. Bearing in was Grisales Agudelo again, that time off of a nice pass by Gomez, but a little bit too strong. And with 6 minutes to go here in regulation, Dolphins are in prime position here to continue their undefeated run. And, you know, Mike, counting the postseason, a win by the Dolphins today would improve their streak to 17 straight undefeated games against against CUNY competition. Now, that includes a tie last year against CCNY, but 17 straight, including the postseason, that the Dolphins have been able to avoid a loss in conference play.
Yeah, you know, Dave, this is a team that's the 3-time defending CUNYAC champions, and you know, really have come out this year with a new coach and a couple of new players and a lot of question marks, and they've been able to come out and answer all those questions. Here, CCNY this afternoon came out and tried to play a physical game against the Dolphins, and the Dolphins had responses to it. And even when CCNY was able to take advantage of a couple of Dolphin defensive lapses, the Dolphins have come up with answers both times, adding that big second goal to open up a 2-goal lead. So good game for the Dolphins, and you're right, Dave, it's just a continuation of their real strong play in CUNYAC Conference.
So under 5 minutes to play here. And, Mike, even with what's going to be assumed a CSI win in this one, unless CCNY can really pull off a colossal upset here in the waning moments, I think CCNY, though, has given a good indication that they're going to be one of the teams to beat if CSI is going to be on the road to a championship.
Yeah, you know, it looks like CCNY and Lehman are going to be the 2 top teams in the conference to challenge the Dolphins. And, you know, and of course, Dave, once you get into tournament play, we've seen upsets happen all up and down the line. So you can't rule out anyone once you get into conference play. But, you know, the Dolphins coming in as defending CUNYAC champions. And so far in 2018, they've played like it.
Getting tangled up was Aracena and Pelinkovic. And here sprung out is Deloya. Deloya now taking a rip on goal, and that one is corralled by Landkamp with just under 4 minutes to go. Landkamp, her 13th save. Should these teams meet in the postseason, it will be at Brooklyn College. That's the site of the CUNY Athletic Conference Championship. Only 4 teams on the women's side make it, and all 4 teams will be at Brooklyn for semifinal play, and then obviously the final on the CUNY's final day of the season. John Jay was in action today against Medgar Evers. They were a heavy favorite. They're the only other CUNY school in action as Perello skies one into the box. Once again, mishandled by Landkamp, who reached over Mignon to punch that one away. Mignon continuing to play. Drops it off to Pelinkovic. She's got a window, and she hits the CCNY defender straight on the back. Once again, ball is loose up front. It's Smith. Smith rips one and just wide.
Another big scoring opportunity for Lauren Smith. She had one in the first half and another one there, but puts that one just wide. So a free kick coming out here for the Beavers as the clock winding down.
Sophia Mellis will come into the game on the next horn. So we have just over 2 to play. Laval working against a pair of CCNY defenders. It goes out of play, and we'll have a substitution as Sophia will now make her entrance here. Freshman midfielder. As we have a final in men's soccer. That was earlier today. CCNY 5-3. They were up 4-0 in that game. I think when you guys went off the air, it was 4-1, Mike. So York made it interesting, but CCNY did hold on. 5-3 win. Coming off the field was Tatiana Zuluaga coming out. We're under 2 to play. Pelinkovic able to sidestep Mellis. That one played into the box, skips off. This is Laval, turnaround shot, saved by Landkamp. That was a beautiful save by Landkamp.
Yeah, and Laval's been frustrated all afternoon long, Dave. They double-teamed her early, and that time she had a big opportunity, but Landkamp there to make the save.
So Landkamp came into this game with 14 saves. She's got 14 in this one alone. This is Mignon, who's played very well since coming back into the game. Off the CCNY defender, sprawling to save that one was Mignon again. But we have 1 minute to go. A goal kick here for CCNY. Dolphins 50-some-odd seconds away from putting this one in the books, getting back in the win column. They'll improve to 7-5 overall. But more importantly for them, 4-0 in the conference. Last gasp here as Pelinkovic racing down, shedding defenders, and chipped out of play. This will be another corner kick for the Dolphins as the defense getting in the way that time of a Pelinkovic shot.
Yeah, we're just 30 seconds remaining in the game, Dave. I'm not sure whether the Dolphins will ever get this corner kick off or not, but you got to be very happy if you're the CSI Dolphins. They came out, they played well, and they were able to come back and answer the challenges when the Beavers were able to cut it to a 1-goal game.
And there's one that skips right through the goal mouth. But you could tell, Mike, just how much the Dolphins really wanted to put an exclamation point, how they rushed to get that corner kick off. But the Dolphins give up 2 goals in the second half, but they stave off the Beavers of CCNY, the final score 4-2.
Yeah, and it was a great way for the Dolphins to wrap up a good day for CSI. And, we brought you the CUNYAC games of the week here this afternoon, and the men came out, played very well, picked up a victory, and then the women came out and a pair of undefeated teams and were able to come out with a 4-2 win.
So the Beavers perhaps make a statement that they will be a team to contend with down the stretch, but the 3-time defending CUNYAC champion Dolphins come up with a 4-2 win over CCNY, a very entertaining game, part of a very entertaining CUNYAC afternoon, part of the CUNYAC Game of the Week package. We want to thank all of our CUNY sponsors, the Army ROTC, Pepsi, Municipal Credit Union, the Hospital for Special Surgery, and Modell's, and of course the CUNY Conference as well. Mike, we will be a long way from our next broadcast here. It will be on October 17th. The CSI men's soccer team will return to action against Baruch College. This game pitted the top 2 teams in the conference. That game will pit the top 2 teams respectively in the conference. We'll see how that landscape changes through the next week and a half or so, but that'll be our next broadcast. Men's soccer, you see it on your screen, against Baruch College. Coverage will begin at 2:45 with the pregame show and a 3 o'clock tip-off from right here at the CSI Soccer Complex. Mike, we expect a good closing few weeks here to our soccer season, don't we?
Yeah, you know, the CUNYAC soccer season is always exciting. It always goes by really quickly, and, you know, by the time we get to those Baruch games, both the men and the women will have already faced Lehman College and will be a lot further along in determining the outcome of the regular season.
You could see the final stats on your screen. The Dolphins outshooting CCNY by a hefty margin, but CCNY only needed 2 shots for the 2 goals that they got. The final score 4-2. The Dolphins pretty much dominating in every statistical category, obviously minus fouls and offside. So once again, our final score here, 4-2 in favor of the Dolphins. They improved to 4-0 in the conference. They are alone up top the CUNY Athletic Conference standings, and of course they will get back in the win column after having dropped 3 of their last 4. So, Mike, for everybody here at CSI, for our scorers table, Joe Messia, Tom Krichkowski, our camera operator, Ina Wong, Joe Foreman, our engineer, and, of course, for Mike Babuski, I'm David Pizzuto, wishing you a great rest of the weekend from all of us here at CSI. Once again, your final score, the Dolphins 4, the Beavers 2. Thank you for joining us right here on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.